Hello and welcome to another segment of the East Brunswick Advisory Health Council's Wellness Spotlight. Many people who think about East Brunswick think of it as a very urban type area. They think of Route 18 and the towers. But East Brunswick many years ago was a community that was based in farming. For East Brunswick residents, even those who have their own homes and don't have parcels of land that they can farm, they have the ability to be able to come down to the community garden and to be able to enjoy the benefits and wellness benefits of being able to grow their own fruits and vegetables. So we're going to be spending the Wellness Spotlight today looking at the community garden, speaking to some of its gardeners and learning about the health benefits of gardening and why gardening at the community center has many benefits for East Brunswick residents. We're going to start out with one of the founders of the community garden, Dave Moskowitz. Dave, welcome to the Wellness Spotlight.
Thank you.
Dave, give us some background on how this came about.
Well, we started the garden in 2009. We started with about 80 plots. Within about a month, we already had a waiting list. So we decided we'd double the size to 160 plots. It has since become one of the biggest community gardens in the state. And you mentioned about East Brunswick being very urbanized. I like to think of the community garden both as a great place to grow vegetables, but also as the main street of East Brunswick. We don't have a downtown. And here you can come and meet people you've never met before. It just has this great social aspect to it, as well as being out in the sun and growing your own vegetables.
Are all of the plots being used at this point right now?
Every single plot is filled, yes.
And how long has this been going on exactly?
We started in 2009, and each year we add something new to it. We now have 150 feet of grapevines. We have apple trees, berry plots, community areas, shared areas. Every idea is a good idea, and we just keep building on the garden.
How did you get the idea to do something like this?
I had seen a bunch of community gardens around the state, and I knew we needed one in East Brunswick, and with a little persistence and a very good mayor, we were able to make it happen.
And for our viewers, can you say exactly where the community garden is located?
It's on Civic Center Drive, right next to the police station.
And if anybody's interested in coming down and viewing what goes on here and has interest in being able to take a plot for next season, how would they do that?
We have a website. It's the Community Garden website, East Brunswick Community Garden. We'll also go on the Friends website, which is friendsebec.com, Friends of the East Brunswick Environmental Commission. There's a link to the community garden. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to give you a tour.
What types of people come from the community to be able to garden here?
That's one of the great things about both East Brunswick and the community garden. It's an exceptionally diverse community. We have people from all over the world here, and that is also spotlighted in our garden. We have so many different nationalities that are here. They're growing every conceivable kind of vegetable that you can think of. It's really fantastic.
I know there's a lot of concern today about pesticides and preservatives in the foods that we're eating. And talk a little bit about, Dave, about why people like gardening here and the health benefits.
Well, for one thing, the garden is organic. We encourage, actually one of the bylaws is that you can only have an organic garden, so we don't have any pesticides. I think one of the benefits is that you're outside. You're on a beautiful day like today, you're gardening. One thing I think people don't realize is how difficult it is to garden. You put this little plant in the spring and your garden looks great and there's no weeds, and by the end of the summer not only are you fighting the weeds, but you're also fighting an enormous amount of vegetables. So it's really a wonderful experience.
And can you talk a little bit about how the garden is actually set up? It's fenced in and you provide tools.
We do. We have a shed with shared tools. We can take a look at it if you want. The whole garden is fenced in. The whole garden is done by volunteers. You must donate 4 hours of your time during the summer to some aspect of the garden. We have a big shared area where we grow crops that might be too big for a garden, and when they come ripe, then the community of gardeners can go and pick them. And actually, I always think about this. Community garden, the most important word is community. This is about a community. It's about a community of gardeners. And one of the great things about the garden, too, is the donations. We encourage everyone to donate crops to their excess produce. We also have 2 plots for the senior center, and so throughout the summer we donate to the senior center for use in their meals. We, over the last 3 years, have donated over 2,300 pounds of fresh vegetables to the senior center and to the Christ Church Center.
And the Senior Citizen Center chef
Yes.
takes those donations and then they make meals for the people there?
They make meals for them, and then if they have too much, they'll leave them out for the seniors to take.
Dave, going forward next year, What's the process that people have to go through in order to be able to sign up? How much does it cost?
So this is the greatest bargain around. It costs $10 for an entire season. That's it. We provide you with water, tools, sunshine, soil. You have to get your own plants, but beyond $10, that's it. So if you want a plot, the plots open up. We take registrations in January. Current gardeners can maintain their plot as long as they register in January, and then whatever open plots are available, we'll give them out on a first-come, first-served basis.
And it's really organized beautifully. You have everything fenced in to keep the little critters out that'll eat the things that have been planted, and it's irrigated too.
We have water. There's water available. There's four. There's actually eight. There's 4 spigots, each with 2 on them. So we have 8 hoses around the garden. There's all the elements to grow your own vegetables are here.
What are some of the most unusual things that people have grown in the community garden?
Like I said, with the diversity of people that are growing here, there are plants growing in the garden. I actually don't have any idea what they are.
What are the hours that people can come to the garden and tend to their gardens?
We don't close the garden, so I guess if you wanted to come in the middle of the night and garden, you're welcome to do that. Early in the morning before work, people are here, they're gardening. Into the evening, they're gardening. Weekends, I've even been here in the pouring rain and people have gardened. So when you need a garden fix, if you're a gardener, you come to the garden.
Now, don't all the gardeners also have a party?
We do. We actually have at least 2 and usually 3 picnics. One is coming up in September, and I would invite everyone who's around who wants to come see the gardeners and meet some gardeners to come out for it. The details are on the website.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Can you show us the tool shed?
Sure, love to.
So we're at the community garden tool shed. Dave, what do you have in here?
We have all kinds of shared tools. Actually, we have something I really like in here. I'll show you. But first of all, any of these tools are available for any gardener to use. They just put them back. Be careful with them. This is one of the things I really like about it. I talk about the community aspects. This is actually a seed exchange. So if you have extra seeds in your garden, you put them in here, and they're welcome for anybody to take them. Kind of neat. Here's Taste of Asia, edible rape, pinto beans, peas, cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe, yeah.
All these seeds, you're welcome. Everyone's welcome to take.
And you have an assortment of pitchforks, rakes, shovels.
We do. We have just about everything that you could possibly need for the garden.
And again, this is included in the $10 fee to rent your plot. So you can come down here. You don't have to bother about bringing your own tools and soiling your car. You can just come down and use the tools that are available and then put them back clean when they're done.
We make it very easy for everybody to garden, definitely.
Dave, I remember you telling me that this tool shed was an Eagle Scout project.
That's right.
And you have another one too?
I do. We have a kiosk. This was built by one scout a few years ago, and I can show you the kiosk if you want.
That's great. That's another way of being able to involve the community.
I say this all the time, I'm an Eagle Scout, and I know you're an Eagle Scout as well. If there are any scouts listening, parents, scoutmasters, and your son needs an Eagle Scout project, reach out to me and let me know. We'll find something in the community, either at the garden or elsewhere.
Show us the other project, Dave.
Sure.
Dave, this is the other Eagle Scout project that you were telling us about.
Yes, this was built last summer.
And this is a kiosk. What type of announcements and information do you have up here for the community to see?
So we have the rules and the guidelines. We post information on pest control because we're an organic garden. We have some connections to the website, a couple of awards that we received. Actually, the garden's received quite a few awards. We also have, and I don't think many people know this, but we have a sister garden in Australia. There's actually another community garden in East Brunswick, Australia, and we signed a joint resolution with their board. It's actually over on the board in the corner. That commits our 2 gardens to sharing ideas, communicating through Facebook. So East Brunswick, New Jersey, and East Brunswick, Australia are sister gardens. The thing I love about this kiosk, and it goes to what I think is great about Eagle Scout projects. This was finished about 2 weeks before Hurricane Sandy. And of course, Hurricane Sandy destroyed the area, devastated the area. This kiosk stood. And I came out after Sandy, after 2 gigantic oak trees landed in my neighbor's on their house, to come expect this to be on its side. And look at it, it looks brand new. It weathered the storm, no trouble.
That's beautiful. That's a great story, Dave. You know, I know you've also been instrumental in Butterfly Park, and you're very involved within the community, especially over at the vernal pools. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for all of the time that you donate to our community to make it a better place in which to live.
I love this community. I'm glad to be part of it.
It shows. Thanks a lot, Dave. So let's talk to some of our community gardeners. I'm here now with Elaine Schellenberg. Hi, Elaine.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, so looks like you're growing some beautiful tomatoes.
That's about all that's growing this year. Not a good year.
I know, you really have kept up on the weeds. Wait till you see my plot over there. It looks like a jungle.
The mulch makes a difference.
I'm going to have to pick up some tips for next season.
Definitely. I've been doing the mulch for 4 years now.
Now, have you grown all of one variety, or do you have different kinds that are
I
here?
had 4 different types of variety. This is my sister's plot, and that's my plot, but I do all the gardening for both of us. 'Cause I like
Now, what do you do with all of these tomatoes?
shared with her. I shared with some of the neighbors, a lot with the older folks in my neighborhood, and just share the love.
So it's a hot August day, and you're out here in your garden. What do you love about gardening at the East Brunswick Community Garden?
I just like the peacefulness, and I've always grew up in apartments, so I've never had a chance to do anything like this, and I'm still in a condo, so this is like my dream.
And living in a condo, it doesn't really give you the opportunity to be able to do something like this, so this is great for you.
Yeah, I love it.
How long have you been gardening here?
Ever since it's opened, since 3 years, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
What is it that you love about gardening here?
It's the health aspect of being close to nature and to be able to socialize with my fellow gardeners and learn from them. It's a great enriching experience. And also I love to grow my own vegetables. It's the best way, the gardening is the best way to combat global warming. It's one of the best ways. And I think that if every person grows their own food, we don't have to be dependent on anything else, And it's really wonderful being able to come out here and breathe fresh air and grow my own plants.
Renu, I see you just cleaned up your garden.
Yes.
What did you grow this year?
I just harvested a whole load of fresh potatoes, including the blue potatoes, the gourmet purple potatoes, the red potatoes, the Yukons, and everything. It's really wonderful. And then I save it for the whole year.
Now, how many pounds of potatoes did you get out of a plot this size?
I got about 5 pounds.
That's excellent. And all you planted was potatoes this year?
No, I planted tomatoes and a variety of herbs because I love to use herbs in my cooking, and also I make potpourri out of lavender, rosemary, thyme, and also marjoram, oregano. I do a lot of Italian cooking, including spaghetti sauces. So I like to use a lot of basil, oregano, and thyme.
Oh, that has to be so delicious
Yes.
with all those fresh ingredients.
Yes, and also very healthy.
Now, what do you plan on planting for next year?
For the fall, I plan to use to grow radishes, purple cabbages, green cabbage, the members of the brassica family like cauliflower, and so I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the starter plants. So I'm going to go shopping after this.
Beth, hi. Is this your first time gardening in East Brunswick?
Actually, it's my second season, but I'm not a gardener. I'm the gardener who knew nothing.
Well, you could have fooled me. You have a nice crop of tomatoes here.
Thank you. I've been very fortunate. Been getting tomatoes all summer.
How many varieties of tomatoes do you have?
Probably like at least 4. I've lost count. From large ones to plum size to even the cherries. I've gotten a lot of cherries, different types.
And what do you do with all of these tomatoes? There's so many.
Well, we eat them, we share them, and my husband owns a bagel store, Bagel Boys of North Brunswick, and he's even brought some to the store to put on sandwiches.
Oh, that sounds delicious. A nice fresh Jersey tomato.
Yeah, delicious. And I snack on them like grapes. I like them better than grapes.
And they're a lot lower in sugar and higher in vitamin C.
That's good to know. They're just delicious to me.
What do you plan on planting for next year?
Probably tomatoes again. I've actually gotten some herbs that I didn't even plant, which was exciting. I had dill, I've had basil. I've also planted green peppers, which come out fantastic, but I'm still waiting for them to come this year.
Tony, welcome to the Wellness Spotlight, and you're a community gardener too.
I'm a community gardener for a long time. Nice to see you again.
You too, Tony. So I see you've harvested some things out of your garden today. You want to show us what you have?
Sure, I picked up some fennel from the garden, some nice-sized tomatoes, A little on the yellow side, but I take them home, put them in a bag for a little while, and they do really well.
So who's the chef, Tony?
We share. We both do a little bit of the cooking. But the garden's not just about the food, and it's a big part of it, and certainly it's a lot of fun. And the fact that you get out, you're here in full sunlight, which makes your garden grow a lot better than in a lot of the areas around our houses. But it's about sharing. We get together, we meet a lot of different people, and sometimes people give you something that's very good, and other times, which in the case of bitter melon one time, was a little on the interesting side, let's say.
You know what to stay away from.
Okay, yes, basically.
But it's good. You're outside, you're getting some fresh air, you're getting vitamin D from the sun.
And meeting a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures, so it's really exciting that way too. So we have a good time.
Tony, there's such a wide variety and assortment of things growing here. There's many flowers too, but I understand some of these flowers are also edible.
Yeah. Nasturtiums can be used in a salad, as well as some of the flowers, as well as some of the leaves can be used in salads. In fact, what's really interesting to do is some people take a nasturtium and put them in an ice cube. What you do is you heat the water first, and it loses all its bubbles. And so when you freeze them, you put them inside the ice cube tray, and you'll have a flower inside an ice cube, and you'll serve it in a summer drink.
So, Lori, what have you been growing?
I was growing tomatoes, herbs, basil, verbena, chives, peppers. What else I had? Hot peppers and bell pepper, some squash. I did a little bit of everything just to experiment. This was my first summer here, so I wanted to see.
What's this?
This is actually a gourd. It's a baby gourd. There's a larger one over here. This vine actually died, but it's still growing. You can see the vine started here. It's coming around, and it's producing, but it's actually dying as it produces. So
you have one here, one there?
Yeah, so as long as it's growing, I'm just going to let it grow and see what it produces.
You have a very nice variety of things here.
Yeah. I have my basil. You want to smell that?
Oh, that smells great.
And this is verbena. I'm actually going to oil this.
Now, what do you do with the oil?
The oil you can use for your body, you can cook with. If you put it in olive oil, you cook with it. You can put it in any type of almond oil. You can use it on your body. You can do quite a few things, but you can just take it and chop it up and cook it. That's lemony, so you want to do chicken, fish,
Smells fantastic.
Yeah. So that was probably the best thing that came out, was the verbena.
How long have you been gardening?
Well, this is my first year here. On and off, I did it on the patio in my house, this, that, and the other. But I decided, okay, I'm going to expand this year and see what happens. So at home, I have tomatoes and carrots and things growing on my balcony.
How was your experience for your first year?
Pleasant. It was really nice. I met a lot of good people. Everyone gave me their tips. I was told I was going to get more than enough advice, and it was true. Everyone helped me because I thought I was doing things wrong, and they were like, no, it's fine. And they were right, So I'm going to do it again next year, definitely.
Now, aside from the social aspects, which everybody has been talking about, how great it is to be around so many different kinds and people and different cultures,
Right.
What do you feel are some of the other benefits to gardening?
Well, just getting out. You're outside, you're enjoying nature, you're learning something new. There's a lot to be taken from this. It's healthy. It's just a great way to get back to your roots. So I definitely would want to do this again.
So, how long have you been gardening?
This is only my second year.
This looks like a really professional job.
I hate weeding. So I put down the weed blocker to help keep the weeds down.
Now, what's this made out of?
This right now, it's a fabric. You get that at Lowe's or Home Depot, and you just lay it down. It comes with the little spikes to keep it so it doesn't blow all over the place. And then you just cut holes in it where you want to put the plants.
And what is it that you've planted now?
Well, this is my second time around this year. At the beginning of the year, I planted corn and some peppers. They produced what they were going to produce, and they were done, so I pulled them out, put some more corn in to see if I can get some more before the season ends, and I put in some pumpkins, hopefully to get some jack-o'-lanterns before Halloween. It's going to be close. Depends on how the weather holds up.
That's a pretty economical use of space to get probably 3 crops
I'm trying.
out of your plot just in one growing season. That's terrific. What have you found to be some of the best health benefits to gardening at the community garden?
Because everything is organic. You grow it yourself. There's no chemicals. You don't have to worry about it. Everything is just fresh from the garden, too.
You're not getting those toxins entering your body, polluting your body.
Exactly.
Everything that you're growing is clean, and you know what's in it because you've grown it yourself.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to use any chemicals here in the garden, so you know that it's safe. You're not getting any chemicals from anybody else either.
Thanks, Marianne. For anybody who's interested, what would you suggest they do?
Well, I know what I'm doing next year. I'm going to put in some corn and tomatoes, and that's it. Then I'm going to try and make it easier for myself next year.
Thanks, Marianne.
Thank you.
Dave, tell us, what do you have growing here?
My main crop this year was strawberries. I got about 10 gallons out here that are stashed in my freezer. And now I'm growing some tomatoes, one hot pepper, and I had a few zucchinis earlier in the year.
Who's the cook?
Not me. Anybody but me. My wife is a great cook.
Now, it looks like you've used some advanced techniques to be able to grow your tomatoes. What have you done?
Well, I just put in sort of a square foot garden like you see on TV. I tried that about 2 years ago. So,
How many varieties of tomatoes do you have here?
3, 2 large size and 1 cherry tomato type.
What would you say are some of the best health benefits that you've realized from gardening here?
Exercise. That's it. It's all about exercise, getting outside, keeping active. The food's just what comes out of it.
How many hours a week would you say you put into your garden?
Well, right now, not too many, but in the spring, it's about 10 hours.
Are you planning on coming back again next year?
Yep.
What are you going to put in?
Same kind of stuff.
Dave, in addition to the gardens that people work privately, there's also community gardens that everybody gets to benefit from.
Yes, and that's what we have over here. We're growing strawberries and rhubarb, and behind there's some asparagus, and over here I think there's some corn and some melons and other things that people have planted. And
These are the strawberries?
These are strawberries.
And that?
Is the rhubarb, and there's some volunteer dill, if you like dill pickles or something like that, dill flavoring in your bread or whatever. And people volunteer, they take care of it, and everybody gets to pick and enjoy the fruits and vegetables.
That's wonderful.
So there's a couple of guys, Bill and Peter, who have been really instrumental in setting up the grapevine trellis here and planting the new grapevines that just went in this year. And there's a couple of kiwi trees down over there at that end. We've got blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberry patch, which serves as a tomato patch in the middle of summer, cantaloupes, and sunchokes. And behind that are potatoes.
And I see you have wood chips for mulch.
Yeah, our plan here is to put about 4 to 5 inches of wood chips down and let that mulch on its own over the seasons and turn into a good layer of topsoil on. Give us a great place to grow plants.
There certainly is a terrific assortment of vegetables and fruits here for people to enjoy.
It is, and the credit really goes to the volunteers who work here. Many people have put in 80 hours or more over the course of the summer alone, just putting down the wood chips, getting the weeds out of the way, replanting, watering, harvesting. It's tremendous to see how much work people put into it when they feel like there's a community spirit.
Well, everybody's been talking about such terrific benefits that they get from gardening here, and it looks like it's really paying off.
I think so. I think most people who've worked here this year have really enjoyed it and met a lot of fun people, and are looking forward to getting some harvest in the fall and celebrating their accomplishments.
Let's take a trip over to the Senior Citizen Center for a few minutes and see exactly what's being done with all of the foods and produce that's being donated from the community garden.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley Morosi, Assistant Director for the East Brunswick Department on Aging, and I am here today with Jimmy Takla. Jimmy is the kitchen coordinator here at the Senior Center, and I want to ask him about this wonderful food in front of us. Jimmy, tell us, where did this food come from?
Well, some of the food comes from the community garden, which is here at the Senior Center. We appreciate the community garden to give the senior nutrition and fresh fruit and fresh vegetable. So sometimes they send us some tomato or some string beans or eggplant or whatever it is. So we use some for sandwiches and we use some for salad like you see. And the rest in the end of the week we make a big huge pot of vegetable soup for all the seniors. In the end of the season, when we do have a lot of vegetable and we cannot use it all, we put it on a tray and we let them to help themselves to take it home sometime. but these are a great idea, and we're very appreciative.
Well, it looks like you have put the vegetables to good use.
Yes, actually, we do not waste anything over here at the Senior Center Kitchen. We try to make a use of everything we have, especially to give the senior a healthy meal, because a lot of the seniors who they do not cook at home dinner, so this is their dinner, and after they eat a little sandwich or so at night. So we try to give them a complete meal from a soup, nutrition, vegetable, dessert, to help them to be healthy.
Well, it sounds like it's been a great partnership with the community garden, and we are certainly grateful for that wonderful idea.
For those of you who would like additional information about the East Brunswick Community Garden, you can go online at www.friendsebec.com. The East Brunswick Community Garden is a wonderful place for wellness. You get plenty of fresh air, meet lots of terrific and diverse people. You get to grow your own healthy foods free of pesticides and preservatives while getting exercise in the process. You know, it's all about staying healthy and the active role that it takes in your life. I'm Dr. Ken Friedman, President of the East Brunswick Advisory Health Council, thanking you for tuning in to this segment of the East Brunswick Advisory Health Council's Wellness Spotlight and reminding you that wellness works when you work it.